What is up, everybody? It is the Bluebloods here, back with another episode. And I was going to drop this one yesterday, but we're going to do a little bit of a two-parter here. We have a big commitment to talk about that happened Wednesday. Cameron Taylor, former South Alabama and Indiana tight end, announces his commitment to Alabama A&M. If you want to hear Cameron's thoughts, we're dropping an article right after this episode. It's going to be linked in the bio where me and Cameron talk about his commitment to Alabama A&M, his recruiting process, and what he plans to bring to the Alabama A&M offense, the bluebloodspod.com. If you don't want to click on the link and you're just looking for it online, the bluebloodspod.com. But Connell Maynard and this offensive staff have absolutely tried to address all these offensive needs. They lose Akil Glass at the quarterback spot. They lose D. Anderson and I believe Hilaire too at the wide receiver spot. They lose two tight ends to graduation as well. They lose an offensive lineman or two. And so there were a lot of holes to address along this this dynamic offense from last year, which was one of the top offenses in the SWAC. And Cameron Taylor comes in, announces his commitment, has been around, man, and I really do like what he could bring to this offense, especially with a creative offensive mind like Connell Maynard. He comes in 6'4", 270, a giant guy, man, out of Florida. And back at South Alabama, he came to South Alabama in 2016. This is when South Alabama was really just trying to establish their program. As a redshirt freshman, appeared in 4 games that year, played in all 11 as a sophomore, and also played as a junior over there at South Alabama. You know, they didn't use the tight ends appropriately, in my opinion. I mean, in the spring game, that the year before he transferred, 3 receptions for 40 yards just in that game, but he had 5 catches for 67 yards on the year as a sophomore. And you're looking going back to high school. He was a 2-star recruit as a tight end and defensive end, according to Rivals in 247. Played at Santa Fe High School. And really and truly, man, I think the number one thing he brings is just physicality. You're going to see here he's a great blocker. So what I'm really interested to see is how Connell Maynard and this offensive staff use him, because I think you can put him at the true tight end spot. You can put him out at the H-back spot, and he's going to be able to offer you I would say multiple roles in that spot. He can block, he can go out for a pass and catch. And what he can do when he goes out on routes is he's so big and he's so physical, and his catch radius is so large that even if your quarterback's not necessarily the most accurate, he can help that quarterback recover and go get the football. And his frame is so large that he's able to box out defenders in one-on-one situations as well. And I think that is where he's really and truly going to come in and make an impact. They really didn't have a guy with as much experience and as much versatility as Cameron Taylor over the past few years. And really and truly, I think when you look at how they potentially could use him, I think D. Anderson is a bit more athletic, but he's a little bit bigger than D. Anderson. I think in the red zone, that's where really and truly Taylor can become a factor. Just like on this highlight you just saw, you can just throw it up and he's going to go get it over most defenders. And so for me, that is what I'm most looking forward to seeing is Taylor in this offensive system. You give him to a coach like Maynard that is creative, that knows how to put players in their best positions. And on top of that, you have 2 new quarterbacks trying to get used to the system in Quincy Casey and Jaron Williams. And so those guys, while they're learning the system, might not be perfect. And with a guy like Taylor, not only can you use them in the red zone, but when those quarterbacks just need to get rid of the football and not take a sack, you can just throw it up, and Taylor probably is going to go get that football, and it keeps drives alive, and it allows your offense to be consistent and stay ahead of the chains. And so I really like this addition. I think blocking too. You return an All-American running back in Gary Quarles. You just bring Cameron Taylor in there, they're going to have to worry about him going out for a pass, but then he can be the kick out guy. He can get up and get to the second level and block a linebacker. He's too big and physical for a lot of linebackers, and he has the weight and size to hold his own with a lot of edge defenders. And so I really like the potential of this addition. You know, me and him talked a little bit about, you know, what happened down at South Alabama. I'm from Mobile. I'm recording in Mobile right now. At the time, the program was overgoing a lot of changes, a lot of growth, and you know that offensive system really didn't fit Taylor's best skill set. He went to Indiana, found a little bit of time there, but then they overwent a lot of changes with coaches leaving and a lot of coach changes and quarterback, you know, situations. But he knows what it's like to play in a winning culture up there. Been one of the top Big Ten teams over these past few years. So I'm really excited to see what Taylor can bring. He has 1 year of eligibility left. This was a huge need for Connell Maynard and the staff, and I think Taylor's going to play a large role in this offense as a blocker, a red zone threat, and just being a versatile piece that Connell Maynard can scheme up and put him in really good situations. So comment below what you think of Taylor's addition to Alabama A&M. How is he going to fit the scheme? What do you think of this addition? And also head to the website now, pod.com, and check out our article where we break down his commitment to Alabama A&M, his recruiting process, and what you can expect from him right there on our website, thebluebloodspod.com. But guys, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, comment your thoughts below, and stay tuned for more episodes coming very, very soon. But until next time, the Blue Bloods are out.